So, over a year ago, I covered a private server known as Sargeras' Embrace. It had just come out with a huge announcement trailer and many ideas and thoughts that they would make a modern day expansion with a ton of features that Blizzard has never done before, such as a fully realized player housing. Of course, now a year after the fact, Blizzard has finally announced a full-on player housing, but up until then, this was really going to be the only private server or just server in general for World of Warcraft that would have a fully realized one, because other servers that have tried it have tried but really failed and haven't done anything. But there's more than just player housing. Like, I'll show you here. I have an entire hour-long video on the Sargeras' Embrace server, but the real question today is, what happened to it? Because it has been over a year since they've announced with this trailer, as well as a secondary trailer showcasing the story that their modern-day expansion would go through, but we've not had any updates since then, except for one. The one that we had that was an update was that the Ascension server, the Ascension project, has bought out this project. So, under the umbrella of Ascension, which has other servers with it, such as Conquest of Azeroth, which I think is more closely related to Ascension than its own thing, but either way, you also have the World of RuneScape server, which is completely its own thing, but is now under that umbrella, so you would get to that server through the Ascension launcher, basically. This server was going to be just like that as well, also being launched from the Ascension launcher, but having all of the tools, all of the resources, and help needed from the Ascension team that would help them develop this server. Now, this server originally is just a Spanish private server. I think it was like a fun server that they had developed so many new gameplay and tools and all this kind of stuff that they decided to just take everything they have learned from their original server and turn it into, as I said, a modern day expansion. And here's the segment right here about the player housing, and they utilize the new customization mechanics from Dragonflight. You could place objects wherever you want, sort through the different types and styles. Of course, now Blizzard is making a player housing pretty much identical to this, from what I've seen, but these guys had them beat. But yeah, there's all this customization, like, it's gonna be freaking insane. And the story is that it takes place technically after Wrath of the Lich King, but during the time of Legion. So it happens when our Legion happens, but from but from Wrath of the Lich King to Legion, nothing else happens. Cataclysm does not happen, Mists of Pandaria does not happen, Warlords of Draenor doesn't happen, so it's gonna be its own thing, right? Now then, if we get out of that and go here, this is the Kickstarter. So, going back to the question, what happened to them? Well, we know that they got, I'm not gonna say bought out, but they went under the Ascension umbrella. We've not had any updates since then. Supposedly you would have been able to get updates if you at least donated $1 to their Kickstarter. I didn't do that because a server that I'm not inside playing and see that it's a good project, I could say, yes, this is an amazing thing like Turtle WoW or Project Debug or something. I'm not going to give them my money just yet, but their Kickstarter has unfortunately failed. But that doesn't really mean anything. Again, they're still under the Ascension umbrella, and there is no confirmed, like, cancellation, so it's really up in the air. Are they still around? Are they canceled? We don't really know. So that's the question I am posing to everybody. Like, it says they wanted about like just over $100,000, and they only made like 5,000 with 92 backers. There was a couple of people down here. I think they like donated like $500. Where was it? Yeah, 2 people donated $5. See, $1 sure, a couple dollars, sure, but 500 for a Kickstarter project? I don't understand Kickstarter project. Anyway, I don't understand the people who do that. But anyway, yeah, it's gone radio silent. It's been over a year since it has been announced, and like I said, no updates. Now, I went to their Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account, and I never will, but I went to their Twitter page to see what I could find. Unfortunately, there's no, I did not see any, but I don't know how to use really Twitter. I've never really been to Twitter except for now. All of their posts are kind of mixed match. They're not by release date. So I've tried to find anything that was like 2023, 2024 when they were announced and beyond. And all I could find was like a couple of these, like, oh, like our project is they all speak in Spanish, but it's a Spanish server, but they are making this new server in English. So if it comes out, don't worry about that. But anyway, like you see down here, like, oh, it's going international. And then there was another one up here that was I think it was this one. Yeah, this one. So it basically says like, oh, we are making a player housing that's going to be unlike anything Blizzard has ever come out with. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So that's relatively what it says. Other than that, this is all of these pictures you're seeing here are from the original Spanish server that they started off with, but nothing of this newer server other than those two posts that I should. Then there's that one that's just announcing the project, right? So that's 3, all of them from 2023. Yeah, that's it. That's the top right there. But like I said, it's out of order because this top one is 2015. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of crazy that we've not heard or seen anything update-wise about this project. Now, it got me to thinking, like, maybe this was silently canceled, but on the other hand, Ascension WoW still has control of it, so I would think if it was canceled, whether it would be them or Ascension to say like, hey, unfortunately we didn't meet our goals and we're gonna have to no longer develop this server, like something would have been said, but something has not been said. So really, it's up in the air right now of where this server is, and I would love to hear your thoughts. If, let's say, if this server does come out after a year and a half and they say, hey, by the way, I know we went dead silent, but we were actually hard at development and the game is done, it's ready to be released. If that happens, are you excited to see a server like this? Now, I just covered a small tidbit of what this server will have. I, again, have an entire hour-long breakdown going through everything that this server is going to be hosting, so I recommend checking that out if you're just interested in seeing what the project is, because there's a lot here that I didn't cover. But anyway, that is going to be the end of this video. Write down what you think down below, like and subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you next time.